Get our disclaimer up there. Start off with our usual disclaimer. Hypothetical simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for an impact, if any, with certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Gotta keep the ever-present, all-pervasive big I happy. Regulators have to be kept busy. And they do that by regulating. Okay, there was no news overnight. The dollar's down. People are attributing the weakness in the dollar to maybe Trump's appointees are not going to get through the hearing process. Maybe his implementation of his tax and industrial policies will be slowed down. Sell the dollar. So there really isn't anything going on. No news to speak of. Japanese consumer confidence was up. French industrial production was up. NFIB small business optimism indicator was way up. It was at 105.08. And that was it. So not market changing news to speak of. A couple of hackers were arrested in Europe for hacking Mario Draghi's account. Shame on those people. They should know better than that. And the political nonsense in Washington, D.C. continues. It's just absolutely amazing what politicians and parties will do to cover their rear ends and absolve themselves of blame. It really does remind me of junior high and high school, the cliques, the little power deals, the huffiness, the hurt feelings, the retaliation, the words, the spats. It's just... country needs some changes to be made if we're going to get back on the right track, and I don't see one party being helpful at all in doing that. So Trump's speech, Obama gives his farewell speech today, and I don't think anybody but the sycophants in the mainstream media will pay any attention to it. Trump's speech tomorrow could be have some impact on the news if he starts delaying or changing the 28 things that he proposed to do in Gettysburg. So that was another reason given for weakness in the dollar. We have the 3-year auction today, and that usually requires an up and down market, but generally speaking, we'd expect the 3-year auction to bring in buyers, and we'll see if that happens today. Support, I had it 18 to 22, might be 16 to 20, but support starts in this area. So we have our first buy, 21 to 17, buy 1. And let me change the color of this. And buy 2 is 9 to 13. On the sell side, 27 to 31, and then 3 to 7, sell 2. Now, this small business optimism index, we have seen huge jumps in consumer sentiment, consumer confidence, business confidence, small business optimism index. And if the economy is a state of mind, and it really is when you think about it, people are optimistic about the future. That means that they will forego saving $1 today or spending $1 today, invest it in the hopes of making more down the road. And I think this country has been just held back. I mean, everybody has just really been super nervous about what in the hell was coming next and what changes would come. That I think there's a big sigh of relief going on, and if Trump can get his tax proposals through and industrial policy change for the better, then we can see the economy start to grow again in the next 12 to 18 months, and maybe towards historical growth rates of 3 to 4%. Okay, the 3-year auction on the 30-year is the market's the Treasury focus. So support is 8 to 12, 1 to 5 by 1, and 21-25 by 2. Occasionally on the 2 and 3-year auctions we see sellers, that could be the case today. So, and they can't take the market straight up without a major piece of news. We don't have any news today to speak of. Okay, resistance 152, 20 to 24 is number 1. So 27 to 31 is sell 1. 7 to 11 is sell 2. 8 to 12 is our first little support band, could hold. 1 to 5 is buy 1. 21 to 25 is buy 2. Gold was unchanged when I looked at it this morning. It's come off a bit. It was in the 84, 85 area when I took a peek at it. We'll do a little split right there. So we'll put first sell at 84 to 86. And then 89 to 91. Best resistance is 1200. On the buy side, 78 to 80. And then 74 to 76 for buy 2. You know, watching the game last night, they got rid of Lane Kiffin, who has been trouble everywhere he goes. He is a great quarterback coach. He can get the most out of. We saw it at Tennessee. He left our program in shambles, and under the scrutiny of the NCAA, Saban had him for 2 years and got a lot out of him. But his untimely exit from Alabama, you could see it in the play last night, where the quarterback was essentially sidelined for Alabama. He has a lot of growing to do, but it was a running game, and Lane Kiffin continues to damage any and all those around him, and a person of questionable character. Ultimately, that counts. Okay, we have this very, very smooth break here in the market in the 85-90 area. So this 75 to 85 area will be buy 1. 105.50 will be buy 2. That's where we were yesterday. You can see we're in a trading range. We got a seller at 106.50 and we got a buyer at 105.50. On the sell side, 615, 625, sell 1, 640 to 50, sell 2. Okay, crude recovered overnight. No news to associate with it. We have the APIs tonight. And crude usually, when it's been whacked really hard, usually pauses, and they'll search out where resistance is. And for those of you that are in the room, These high volume numbers are great places for resting limit buys or limit sells, and you can see the overnight session stopped right at that level. So 52.25, 50, sell 1. 75 to 53 even, sell 2. In anticipation of a pause day. Maybe a little bit lower. We're definitely dealing with B's, so 51.50, 51.75, buy 1. 51 even, 51 and a quarter, buy 2. And last but not least, the E-mini. I hope we get a little more action than we had yesterday. Things are really very, very difficult to trade. We've got a 66 to a 59, got a 7-handle range in Globex. Probably a pretty good chance that the low is in. So 59.61, buy 1. 55, 55, 57, buy 2. On the sell side, think we can get stops above the Globex high. We've got resistance starting at 67, then 70. Last rotate up was 70, so 68 to 70. Let them get stops above the overnight session high. Sell 1. 74, 76, sell 2. No news to speak of today. Jolts 5.534. The expectation wholesale trade at plus 9/10. No one pays any attention to those numbers. So the bottom edge of the trading range has been tested. Maybe they'll be able to get it back up to 22.70, 22.75. Hard to say. Nothing going on. Not much to speak of. Okay, take a bit to get stuff up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.